Morning coming through a window I forgot to close. Cooler touching the back of my neck. Slow. There's a cup on the table from last night. Still half full, still cooling down. I watch the steam leave it. Lying by along the street, outside it's gone quiet, almost soft. Like the city decided to whisper for a while. I breathe in, I let it settle, no rush. My coat is hanging open on the door. Keys where I left them, where I always leave them. The room is borrowed, but it knows my way now. It knows how I sit, how I stay up too late. There's a small clock ticking somewhere on the wall. Not loud, just present like a second heartbeat. I let my hands rest, palms open, nothing held. The light is moving slow across the floor. I don't need to be anywhere, I don't need to be anything new. Just this room, just this hour, just the sound of my own breath coming back to me, coming back to you. Borrow room, borrow light, borrow morning, borrow night. I am here and it's enough. I am here without a rush. Borrow the room, borrow time. Softly living, softly mine. Let the world turn without me. Let it turn, I'm doing fine. Borrow the room, borrow air. Slowly held and gently there. There's a song that keeps repeating in my head. Just a small one, maybe 4 notes long. I hum it while the kettle starts to whisper, while the cat stretches out on the wooden chair. I think about nothing, almost nothing. A face I saw yesterday, a word I forgot to say. Nothing heavy, nothing that I need to solve. The afternoon comes in without knocking, that's fine. If you were here, we wouldn't need to talk much. Just a page turning, just a fan turning slow. Just the way the dust is floating in the light, like it knows something we don't need to know. I'd hand you the cup, still warm, almost empty, and you'd hold it like it mattered, like it stayed. We wouldn't say the room is ours, not yet, but we breathe in the same borrowed day. Borrow the room, borrow light, borrow morning, borrow night. I am here and it's enough. I am here without a rush. Borrow the room, borrow time. Softly living, softly mine. Let the world turn without me. Let it turn, I'm doing fine. Borrow the room, borrow air. Slowly held and gently there. Borrow the room, borrow the room. The light is leaving soon. Borrow the room, borrow the room. I'll stay a little more. Borrow the room, borrow the room. Just the hum, just the warmth. Let it fade, let it fade. Morning slides across the floor. Dust is dancing near the door. I keep my hands inside the sleeves, listening to the city breathe. Cup of something growing cold. Stories that I never told. Curtain moving on its own. Borrow room but not alone. Street outside has gone soft now. Lights are dim, the traffic slow. Phone face down beside the bed. Words I should have left unsaid. I trace a circle on the glass. Watch the hours slowly pass. Nothing wrong, nothing right, just the early evening light. I am not in any hurry, I am not in any rush. Let the quiet wrap around me, let the world just turn to hush. Borrow room, I am here but not consumed. Soft electric, slow and low. Watch the ceiling, let it go. Borrow room, mellow light across the room. I don't need to own the night, just to feel it holding tight. Borrow room, quiet as a half-read tune. Neon sign is blinking low. Through the window, through the wall. Counting breaths instead of sheep. Promises I get to keep. Outside the world is loud and wide, and hear the noises stepped aside. I could leave but I won't yet. Just the smoke, no cigarette. Nothing stays and nothing has to. I am learning how to stay in a room that isn't mine. Feeling strangely softly fine. The keys are not beside the door. I don't think I need them more. Let the evening stretch and bend. Borrow room, borrow friend. Borrow room. Still I breathe, still I consume. Only air, only you, only what I'm walking through. Borrow room, humming underneath the moon. I don't need to hold the key, just to feel that I am free. Borrow room, sinking gently into tune. Just the hum, just the warmth. Borrow room, traffic you can barely hear. Window catching steam from where I set the cup. Shoes still resting by the door from sometime last year. Air is thick and patient, no one's rushing up. I count the boards along the floor, I know them well. Soft electric hum from somewhere down the hall. Pages turning somewhere I will never tell. You learn to love the quiet when it holds you through it all. The radiator ticks like it's keeping its own time. Light arrives in pieces on the kitchen tile. Nothing on the calendar, nothing on the line. I'm just letting hours pass me by in single file. Keys are on the table where I always leave them. Phone is dim and face down on the wood. Even shadows here look like they don't believe them. Every borrowed inch of space is finally understood. I could leave, I could stay, find a place to call my own, but this home keeps it okay. Like a chair that knows my way, like a door that holds its frame. I'm not lost, I'm not alone. Borrow room, borrow room, borrow room. Carry me the way you do. Borrow room, borrow room. Let me rest here till I'm through. Softly now, wash the hours from my skin. Borrow room, let the quiet let me in. Borrow room, stay the way you've always been. There's a note taped to the fridge from someone years ago. The handwriting still curling like it's trying to speak. I read it without meaning to, I let the feeling grow. Some old instruction written for the version of me. Curtains move like lungs inside the afternoon, and I am only guessing what the evening brings. Dust is falling somewhere past the edge of the room. Settling on the books and borrow wedding rings. If I built a wall, would you still know my name? If I left this door, would I still feel the same? There's a kind of staying that you do without trying. There's a kind of holding that arrives without trying. It was never mine, but I am not denied. Every room I enter keeps a part of mine. Borrowed room, borrow room, borrow room. Carry me the way you do. Borrow room, let me rest here till I'm through. Softly now, wash the hours from my skin. Borrow room, let the quiet let me in. Borrow room, stay the way you've always been. Borrow room, let me close my eyes again. Softly now, breath against the window pane. Borrow room, I will leave but I'll remain. Softly now, letting go without a sound. Borrow room, slowly turning, slowing down. Softly now, softly now. The window stays half open tonight. Cold air folds over the wooden sill. Your jacket still hangs on the chair where I left it 2 weeks ago. The street outside has lost its noise, just one car humming somewhere far. I watch my tea go cold again. I never finish what I poured. There's a book cracked open on the bed, same paragraph I read last week. The lamp is humming, low and warm, a yellow circle on the wall. I hear my neighbor close the door. The hallway breeze that goes to sleep. I scratch a note into my palm, a word I will forget by dawn. Borrowed room, you hold my shape. Every shadow knows my name. I am drifting, not afraid. Just becoming. Borrowed room, hold me slow. I am not in any rush. Let the minutes lose their hands. Let the clock forget the time. Hold the quiet, let it stay in the space I did not make. I will leave before I know. Borrowed room, hold me slow. The radiator clicks and sighs like it remembers something old. I pull the curtain back an inch. The city wears a softer blue. A woman on the floor below plays piano, no one will hear. I press my hand against the wall. It hums back low beneath my palm. Nothing here belongs to me, and that is why I feel at peace. I fold the blanket, count my breaths. The ceiling moves, then it stops. Outside the window, someone walks. Their shoes keep time against the ground, and I am somewhere in between. I guess the ghost, a settled thing. Borrowed room, you hold my shape. Every shadow knows my name. I am drifting, not afraid. Still half dreaming, still half here. Hold the quiet, let it stay. In the space I did not make, I will leave before I know. Borrowed room, hold me slow. Softly now, the light pulls thin. Softly now, I give it back. Folded sheet, an empty cup. Borrowed room, you were enough. Softly now, softly now. Softly now, softly now. Morning came in pieces through the blinds. A stripe of gold across the hardwood floor. I held my breath and watched it slowly climb and settle in the corner by the door. My tea had gone lukewarm in my hand. The steam was gone, but I had not moved yet. I traced the rim and thought about the land of small and ordinary things I'd forget. The street outside was quiet as a friend who knows the weight of what you didn't say. It didn't push a shoulder to pretend. It simply let the morning find its way. You left your jacket on the chair again, the one with the frayed edge you never meant. I didn't fold it, didn't make a plan, just let it sit there like an old kind friend. The window breathed a little open wide. A neighbor's wind chime had a single tone. The sound of rather lingered, then it died. A small event, but not a thing alone. I watched a crow cross slowly overhead, no hurry in the way he chose his lane. The city moved below me as I read the same soft paragraph again, again. Nothing here is asking me to speak, nothing here is waiting on the line. Just the slow arithmetic of we guiding up to something close to mine. And if the light should shift before I go, and if the room should keep the shape we knew, then I will sit a little longer so the borrowed afternoon can finish through. Borrowed room, you held me through the blue. Borrowed room, you were enough. Quiet walls, you knew exactly what to do. Quiet walls, you were enough. I am not in any rush to leave you now. I am not in any rush to leave. Let the day stretch out and slowly bow. Let me stay, let me believe. Borrowed room, I only have to breathe. Borrowed room, you were enough. Borrowed room, you were enough. Borrowed room, you were enough. Borrowed room. The refrigerator hummed the patient tune. The kitchen clock was ticking out of time. I set my coffee on the table soon and watched the milk so slowly into mine. There's something holy in a kitchen light when no one else is coming through the door. It tells the truth about a common night and asks for nothing, not a single more. The books were stacked the way I left them last. The pen was missing from the coffee cup. A little evidence of moments past that I would not recover if I stopped. If you were here, you wouldn't have to say a single word to make the room feel full. The way the dusk could rise at end of day without a knock, without a pull. So let the streetlights find the open blinds. So let the city make its quiet sound. I am not looking for the things I'll find. I'm only sitting on common ground. And maybe that's the only kind of prayer a body makes when it is not in pain. To breathe the borrowed ordinary air and not to ask for anything again. You held me through the blue. You were enough. You were enough. You were enough. Borrowed room, you held me through the blue. Borrowed room, you were enough. Quiet walls, you knew exactly what to do. Quiet walls, you were enough. Morning in a borrowed room again. Sun is slow across the empty wall. Cup is sitting where I left it yesterday. Coffee cold, but I don't mind at all. Quiet settles like a second skin. Things I didn't say are resting too. Dust is dancing where the daylight bends, and the only plan I have is getting through. Shoes by the door, laces tied but loose. Jacket hanging like it needs a friend. Phone is face down on the wooden shelf. Let the world stay quiet till the end. Watch the shadow trace along the floor. Hear the neighbor's cat walk soft outside. This is not a place that I would call mine, but it's gentle here and so I bide. I don't need the rooms to feel like home. I just need the light to find my face. Let the minutes pass without a name. Let the silence keep its perfect pace. Borrowed room, softly now. Borrowed room, I'm figuring out how to breathe inside a space that was never really mine. Borrowed room, gently here. Borrowed room, the sky is clear, and the hours move like water, slow and steady, line by line. Pages from a book I haven't read. Pen is open but I haven't wrote. Window pane is fogging from my breath, writing little shapes that stay afloat. Street outside has gone a softer gray. Bus goes by with no one at the stop. Even all the ordinary things know exactly when to hold and when to drop. Maybe I was looking for a sign. Maybe it was sitting here the whole. Maybe being lost is just a way of learning how to fill a smaller role. Barroom, you ask for nothing back. You don't keep a record of my stay. Just a pocket full of quiet hours and a window letting in the day. Borrowed room, softly now. Borrowed room, I'm figuring out how to rest inside a place that was never meant to last. Borrowed room, gently here. Borrowed room, the sky is clear, and the evening falls around me like a shadow of the past. Softly now, softly now. Borrowed room, softly now, softly now. Borrowed room. Morning came in through the curtain slow. Dust still turning where the sunlight goes. I didn't move, I let the silence show. A borrowed room, but Lord, it feels like home. The chair is creaking from the weight of years. A street below is waking up in tears. Your jacket hanging near the door for years. A borrowed room, and nothing disappears. I made the coffee and I let it sit. Steam is curling, learning how to quit. I hold the cup, I trace the little chip. A borrowed room, a quiet kind of fit. Outside the city hums its working song, but here the tempo moves a beat too long. I close my eyes and let the moment belong. A borrowed room, and nothing moves along. Let the hours breathe, let the ceiling stay. Let the light forget to leave. Let me find my way, not too far, not too deep, just enough to keep me here, just enough to fall asleep, just enough to hear. In this borrowed room, time is moving like a whisper through the trees. In this borrowed room, nothing's leaving, nothing's on its knees. And I am breathing in, breathing out, a simple rhythm, nothing more. Borrowed room, a borrowed room, a borrowed room, a borrowed door. And I am breathing in, breathing out, a simple rhythm, nothing more. Borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room, and nothing more. The neighbor's dog is barking down the lane. A car is starting somewhere in the rain. I write your name and then I write again in the borrowed room, and nothing feels the strain. The radio is playing something blue. A voice is singing what I'm feeling too. I trace the line between the old and new. A borrowed room, and I am seeing through. Take the afternoon, take it slow. Watch the shadows learning how to grow. Let the quiet teach me what I know. Let the borrowed light begin to show. Take the evening, take it whole. Watch the windows holding in the glow. Let the silence do the talking now. Let the borrowed room just let me go. In this borrowed room, time is moving like a whisper through the trees. In this borrowed room, nothing's leaving, nothing's on its knees. And I am breathing in, breathing out, a simple rhythm, nothing more. A borrowed room, a borrowed room, a borrowed room, a borrowed room, a borrowed door. And I am breathing in, breathing out, a simple rhythm, nothing more. A borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room, and nothing more. Softly now the light is growing dim. Softly now the evening finds its hymn. Softly now the silence closes in. Borrowed room, borrowed room. Softly now. Softly now. Borrowed room, still the same, still the same. Dust on the window catching light. Teacup sitting where I left it last night. Slow exhale, shoulder low. Nothing here is mine, and that is fine. Street outside has gone soft and dim. Humming low like I half remembered him. I count the steps from chair to door. Not to leave, just to feel the floor. Blanket folded, lamp turned low. Pages marked where I stopped a month ago. Your voice still sits inside the walls. Not a haunting, just the way sound falls. I let it stay, I let it be. Borrowed room, you still hold me. And the quiet isn't empty, it's a kind of company. Every shadow has a story, every breath belongs to me. I am not alone in here, just unhurried, just sincere. Borrowed room, you don't ask me for my name. Soft in every corner, gentle in the frame. Borrowed room, let me rest inside your space. No rush, no return, just the warmth upon my face. Borrowed room, stay with me, hold the hours slow. Borrowed room, nowhere else to go. Morning slips across the bed, coffee steaming, words unsaid. I trace the wood grain with my thumb. A borrowed hour, a borrowed hum. Keys upon the counter lay, quiet proof I didn't stay away. Not yours, not mine, just here a while. Sharing silence, sharing style. Maybe home is just a feeling, not a door, not a wall. Maybe it's the way the light falls before the evening calls. I don't need to own the morning, I just need to see it come. Borrowed room, soft and certain you have been enough. Borrowed room, you don't ask me for my name. Soft in every corner, gentle in the frame. Borrowed room, let me rest inside your space. No rush, no return, just the warmth upon my face. Borrowed room, stay with me, hold the hours slow. Borrowed room, nowhere else to go. Borrowed room, borrowed room. Lines coming through the curtain, slow and gray. A stripe of sun across the floor where the cat will lay. I make a pot of tea and set the kettle back to rest. Watch a steam curl in the air like a quiet guest. The room is small, but I've learned to love the size. It holds my voice, it holds my eyes. I press my palm against the glass to feel the weather. Carry the temperature inside me, steady, tethered. Outside the street has not decided what to do. A bike leans idle by a wall, still wet with dew. I hear my neighbor close her door and turn a key. The ordinary does the folks who live above me. There is no hurry in the way the pigeons walk, no performance in the way the curtains tilt and talk. I sit and let the daylight find the lines I'm tracing. Practice being here without the need for chasing. So if you're wondering where I've been inside the borrowed room again, letting every hour arrive, letting every small but quietly remind me I'm alive. Borrowed room, borrowed light, holder of my softer night. I don't need to own the walls, I just need to hear the calls. The little creaks, the breathing floor, the hush that settles at the door. Borrowed room, I'm resting here, letting go of what I fear, holding only what is near. A book falls open on the table where I left. Half-finished sentences I've been meaning to forget. I do not need to read the ending yet today. Some things are sweeter when they gently fade away. The radio is low, a voice I half believe, threading through the room like ivy up beneath. I trace a finger on the dust that lights the shelf, a cold and quiet record of my ordinary self. I have been loud in other years, I know I have been the one who wouldn't let the moment go. But here the city hums below my window pane, and I am learning how to travel without strain. Just a cup, just a lamp, just a chair, just a breath I give to the open air. I am not lost, I am simply home in a borrowed room that I call my own. Borrowed room, borrowed light, holder of my softer night. I don't need to own the walls, I just need to hear the calls. The little creaks, the breathing floor, the hush that settles at the door. Borrowed room, I'm resting here, letting go of what I fear, holding only what is near. Softly now, the lamp burns low. Softly now, I let the quiet grow. Softly now, the street outside. Softly now, the world is wide. And here in this borrowed room, I am held. I am held. The curtain barely moves against the wall. A thin line of gold when morning starts to fall. My coffee's gone cold, but I don't mind at all. Just sitting here, watching shadows on the floor, counting little rhythms I can't hear no more. The street outside is quiet, lost its roar, and every breath I take feels like drifting, but still holding tight. A book lies open, turned down on the chair. My phone face down, no message waiting there. Just me in a humble world I don't share. The radiator ticks a patient song, clock above the door ticks along. Nothing's broken, nothing's gone too long, and time is moving slow, the kind of pace I know. So let the ceiling hold my tired eyes, let the silence say the lullabies. I don't need to leave, I don't need to fly. Just breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Stay a little while inside this quiet house. In this borrowed room, I am finally still. The window paints me soft against the sill. Every little crack, every little spill tells me I'm allowed to simply be. No pretending, no apology, just the floor, the walls, the ceiling holding me. Borrow room, borrow room, borrow. I am held. Borrow room, borrow room, borrow. I am held. Your jacket's still hanging by the door, a sweater I keep meaning to ignore. Small little traces on the wooden floor. The cat is sleeping in a patch of sun. The kettle's warm, the day is gently done, and nothing's asking me to come undone. I'm learning how to stay without slipping away. Ooh, maybe it's the dust dancing in the beam. Maybe it's the way the air just lets me dream. Maybe nothing's bigger than it seems. I'm not lost, I'm just between two slow heartbeats and a cup of steam. Borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room. I am held. Borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed. I am held. Borrowed room, borrowed room. I am held. In this borrowed room, the night comes slow. The streetlights hum a soft and gentle glow. Every breath I take becomes a little low, and I am finally learning how to rest without needing to be more or less. Just the quiet and the weight upon my chest. Borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room. I am held. Borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room. I am held. Softly now, the world is wide, and here in this borrowed room, I am held, I am held, I am held, I am held, I am held. The morning pulls me in slow through an open curtain. Dust is moving like it has nowhere to be. I find my coffee where I left it, lukewarm, certain steam is gone, but the cup still listens to me. The street outside is quiet, not even trying. Birds are singing like they wrote the melody. My shoes are placed beside the door, not lying, just sitting there like old friends waiting for me. The light has changed, the wall is warm and golden. A shadow on the floor is tracing where I stand. Nothing is broken, nothing here is frozen. Just another borrowed room, I understand. I count the rings on wood, the marks are staying. Every visitor has left a little line. The radio is playing something faintly swaying. A voice I know is humming close to mine. I write a sentence down and cross it over. The paper holds it like a patient friend. I leave the window cracked to let the quiet closer. Air comes in and stays until the day must bend. My phone is face down on the table, silent. No rush to answer anything today. The room is full of light that feels compliant, letting me be still in my own quiet way. I am not lost, I am not searching anymore. I am standing in the doorway, I am sure. Every breath I take is landing on the floor, like it knows the way, like it knows the cure. This is my borrowed room, borrowed light, borrowed air, borrowed afternoon, borrowed everywhere. Walls that hold me when I fall, floor that knows my quiet calls. I am only passing through, but the passing feels like home to you. Borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed light, borrowed bloom. Nothing here is mine to keep, still it rocks me back to sleep. Borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed light, borrowed tune. I will give it back someday, but today I choose to stay. The afternoon unfolds like linen on a line, soft and slow and asking nothing of my hands. I trace the corner where the wallpaper will shine, a faded flower pattern from forgotten plans. The book is open to a page I've underlined, a sentence someone wrote before I understood. The shadows lengthen, gentle, half defined, like they are teaching me how stillness could. I hum a melody that doesn't have a title, something rising from the chest and falling back. The city breathes beyond the glass recital, a hymn of vengeance, footsteps, birds and track. I close my eyes and feel the room hold steady. It knows my name though I have never said. The silence here is warm, the light is ready, a blanket pulled up gently to my head. If I leave, the light will stay. If I go, the room will mine. Someone else will find the day. Trace the corners I will find. Borrowed walls, borrowed chair, borrowed quiet in the air, borrowed song I didn't write, borrowed morning, borrowed night, both mine. The morning sits in corners of the floor, light is shifting slow across the wall. I hear the neighbor lock their front door, and nothing in this borrowed room feels small. I wrap my hands around a cooling cup, let steam curl up and disappear above. The street below is finally quieted down, a single bicycle wheel rolls past the sound. I am held, I am held. There's a sweater folded on a chair, a book left open to a random page. My shadow on the carpet doesn't care, it stays beside me like it knows my age. I count the small relief of being still, of watching dust drift gently down the sill. The city breathes a softer kind of blue, and every hour becomes a quiet view. I am held, I am held. So let the minutes move at their own pace. I am not asking for a louder day. The simple things have found their rightful place, and I am learning how to softly stay. In this borrowed room I finally rest. In this borrowed room I feel addressed. The window holds the light I used to chase, and time is moving at a slower pace. In this borrowed room the air is kind, it tucks the scattered pieces of my mind. I am not lost, I am not running out. I am held, I am held. The line of sun falls gently on my knee, the radio is murmuring some old song. I think about the way I used to flee from quiet rooms that asked me to belong. But something here has welcomed me inside, the way a curtain learns to open wide. I trace a finger slowly down the glass and let the ordinary hours pass. Maybe home is just a softer door, maybe home is what you borrow for a while. Maybe love is simply knowing more and resting in a calm and patient style. The clock keeps ticking low and unafraid, the kettle whispers in the shade. I let the silence settle like a friend and feel the day begin to bend. In this borrowed room I finally rest. In this borrowed room I feel addressed. The window holds the light I used to chase, and time is moving at a slower pace. In this borrowed room the air is kind, it tucks the scattered pieces of my mind. I am not lost, I am not running now. I am held, I am held. So let the evening slowly turn to gray. The cup is empty but I am okay. The street outside has gone a little still, and I am held within this borrowed room. And I am held within this borrowed room. The morning slides in slow across the floor. I watch it touch the corner of the chair. A cup of coffee cooling by the door. Your jacket hanging where it shouldn't stare. The radiator hums a quiet tune. A clock above the sink ticks out of time. I'm learning how to live inside this room. A borrowed shape, a temporary run. The shelf above holds books I haven't read. A paperweight reflecting passing skies. A small plant leaning where the light is lit. Its leaves like questions waiting for reply. I trace the wood grain with the wandering thumb, counting rings of years I didn't live. The quiet here is patient, never numb. It hums, it breathes, it has its own to give. And maybe I'm not lost, just resting here. A traveler pausing mid-between the miles. The dust has settled, calm and clear. The room has learned the pattern of my smiles. Borrowed room, you hold me without asking. Borrowed room, you keep me without keeping. Borrowed room, the light is slowly casting. Borrowed room, the world outside is sleeping. Borrowed room, I don't need to be moving. Borrowed room, the stillness feels like home. Borrowed room, there's nothing left to prove in. Borrowed room, I'm here and not alone. A neighbor's dog barks once and then gives in. A plane draws a long line across the blue. I wonder when the quiet will begin to feel less like a visit and more true. The pillows hold the shape of where I lay. The curtains sway like lungs that breathe in time. I'm folding all my questions into a day, letting the small hours slowly rhyme. Maybe rooms remember who they've held. Maybe walls keep gentle kinds of score. Maybe warmth is something we can build. Maybe borrow still can feel like more than passing, more than temporary walls, more than luggage left beside the door, more than echoes answering my calls, more than borrowed, maybe something more. Borrowed room, you hold me without asking. Borrowed room, you keep me without keeping. Borrowed room, the day is gently passing. Borrowed room, the world outside is sleeping. Borrowed room, I don't need to be moving. Borrowed room, the stillness feels like home. Borrowed room, there's nothing left to prove in. Borrowed room, I'm here and not alone. The street outside has gone a little still, and I am held within this borrowed room. And I am held within this borrowed room. And I am held within this borrowed room. The light shifts in a way I didn't plan. A pale gold strip that runs along the wall. My coffee's cooling in a plain white cup, steam curling up then disappearing. Outside, the street is quiet, almost kind. A taxi hums and fades into the dark. I trace the rim and feel the day let go. A slow exhale that settles in my chest. No need to speak, no one is listening, just me, the home, and the keys below my hands. The clock above the doorway ticks so soft, a rhythm I can lean into and breathe. My jacket hangs on someone else's chair. It still holds shapes I haven't worn today. There's dust on wood, a fingerprint on glass, small proofs that someone stood here once before. I borrow all of it, the light, the chair, the quiet hum the radiator makes. And in this holding I begin to know a softer kind of presence in the room. So let me stay a little longer here, where nothing asks me for a single thing. Let the evening fold into the walls. Let the city slowly dim its eyes. I am held within this borrowed room, wrapped in evening, wrapped in ordinary light. I am held within this borrowed room, where the hours pass without a sound. I am held within this borrowed room, and I don't need to own a single thing. I am held, I am held, I am held inside this borrowed room tonight. A neighbor's TV murmurs through the wall. A laugh, a pause, a door that closes soft. I smile at how we're all just passing through, just borrowing warmth from hallways and from walls. My notebook open, pen left on the page. A sentence half written waits for later hands. There's no rush, the ink will hold a shape. The thought will wait until I'm ready now. I close my eyes and feel the room expand. A patient space that holds me as I am. Maybe this is all that we can keep, these few soft hours in a temporary place. Maybe being held is not a hand, but simply walls that ask for nothing back. I learned to rest inside uncertainty, to trust the floor beneath my quiet feet. And the borrowed room becomes enough, becomes a kind of home I didn't plan. I am held within this borrowed room, where the silence hums a gentle lullaby. I am held within this borrowed room, no past to fix, no future to arrange. I am held within this borrowed room, just breath and breath and breath and breath. I am held, I am held, I am held, and nothing in this room is truly mine. And yet it holds me like it always will inside this borrowed room tonight. The light is gone blue along the floor. The street outside is softer than before. I set my cup aside, I close my eyes, and let the borrowed room become the sky. I am held, I am held, I am held, I am held, I am held within this borrowed room. The curtain moves again, a slow and silver sway. I watch the street lamp blink until it fades to gray. My tea has gone cold beside the open book. A small and honest silence in every line I look. I count the ceiling shadow breathing in and out, tasting all the hours I no longer think about. The clock beside the doorway hums a steady low. A friend I never asked for, but it stays, I know. My shoes are by the doorway, laces soft and curled. A jacket on the chair, still warmed against the world. I picked the cup up gently just to feel the weight. A tea bag in the water, patience on a plate. The song has lost its chorus, drifting into rain. I let it fall as pillow, I let it fall as pain. No rush to name the feeling, no rush to call it true. Just this room, just this body, just the quiet I move through. And if the morning takes a little longer now, if every breath comes softer, closer, slower somehow, I will not run to fill the empty space I find. I will sit here like the lamplight, steady, kind. Borrow room, hold me gently through the night. Window light is silver, slow and white. Let the hours move like water in a stream. Let the minutes stop their hurry, let me dream. Borrow room, I am breathing, I am here. A cup, a chair, a jacket, all that I hold dear. Borrow room, carry me until the dawn. Carry me until I don't remember where I'm from. The radio to clicks a low and steady rhyme. A heat that asks for nothing, warming me through time. I trace the wooden table, count the rings of grain. A small geography of patience, soft as rain. The neighbors through the hallway laugh and fade away. A sound like distant river ending in today. I close my eyes for minutes, not to sleep, just beat. A body in a borrowed chair, a tide that fans the sea. So take my name, or leave it loosely by the door. outside is sleeping, I am gently calm. If I am lonely, if I am land, if I am just a guest, let me be this breath, this hour, this undisturbed rest. Borrow room, hold me gently through the night. Window light is silver, slow and white. Let the hours move like water in a stream. Let the minutes stop their hurry, let me dream. Borrowed room, I am breathing, I am here. A cup, a chair, a jacket, all that I hold dear. Borrowed room, carry me until the dawn. Carry me until I don't remember where I'm from. And let the borrowed room become the sky. And let the window silver slowly multiply. A breath, a cup, a shadow, all returning home. Borrowed room, borrowed room, I am held. The curtain learned the color of the afternoon and held it like a letter no one had to send. I watched the dust become a small impatient moon, drifting where the floorboards soften and bend. My hand is resting lighter than a coat on a chair. The kettle ticks and settles, then forgets the steam. I do not need to go anywhere from here. Just let the borrowed light arrive and lean. Outside, a bus pulls away like a thought I won't chase. The street light blinks but does not ask me for proof. There's a half-empty notebook open on its face, a pencil rolling to a stop, forgetting the roof. I count the sounds the radiator makes for me. Small metallic gongs, a hump beneath the wall. Nothing here belongs to me completely, but nothing here is leaving when I call. So I will stay where the silence has a handle, where the chair remembers every careful way. I will let the room arrange and gently handle every footstep I have carried through this gate. Borrow room, keep your quiet close around me. Lend me all the corners I don't have to clean. Let the hours move the way the shadows found me. Slow and soft, the kind of slow I've never seen. Borrow room, I'm not asking for forever. Just a night, just a window, just a chair. Hold the weather when the street becomes whatever. Let me rest, let me rest, let me rest in here. There's a sweater on the door that smells like rain, a phone that flipped itself to silent long ago. I am learning how to hold a thought without a chain, how to let a feeling pass the way the headlights flow. The mug is cool but I am still unwilling to refill it, as if the warmth was meant to stay. There's a kindness in a room that does its own assembling, patient as the dust and worried underway. If I borrowed this, then I will borrow gently. Leave the lamp the way I found the lamp alight. If I borrowed this, then I will borrow slowly, not to own it, just to sit inside the quiet ride. Borrowed room, lend me back my easy breathing, lend me back the softness I forgot I had. I will give you nothing but my simple leaving, just a folded blanket and a feeling glad. Borrowed room, keep your quiet close around me. Lend me all the corners I don't have to clean. Let the hours move the way the shadows found me. Slow and soft, the kind of slow I've never seen. Borrowed room, I am not asking for forever. Just a night, just a window, just a chair. Hold the weather when the street becomes whatever. Let me rest, let me rest, let me rest in here. And when the morning folds the curtain thinner and the cup is empty and the street is white, I will thank the room and close my eyes within her. Borrowed room, borrowed room, my quiet time. Borrowed room, borrowed room. morning on the sill, the curtain barely moves. Steam from a forgotten cup still drawing rings. I set my phone down low, the screen goes dark and let the ceiling fan keep time for me. My shoes are by the door, untied and patient. The carpet holds the print of yesterday's walk. Outside a dog is barking, then forgets in silence, comes back in easy as a friend. There's a folder on the desk I meant to read, a pen that rolled beneath the window ledge. The light is slow today, it doesn't rush. It sits on my hands like a sleepy cat. I count the breaths I'm taking, 1, 2, 3. Not to be calm, just to know I'm here. A neighbor hums a song I almost know, half a lyric, half a key, drifting through the wall. I don't need the world to turn for me right now. I don't need a sign to know I'm on the ground. Let the minutes pile like soft unfolded sheets. Let the room remind me what I found. Borrowed room, you keep me steady. Borrowed room, you let me be. Borrowed room, my quiet type. Borrowed room, I am held. You don't ask for anything, you don't pretend. You don't try to be more than a wall and a bed. Borrowed room, my quiet type. Borrowed room, I am held. Later I will step out for a loaf of bread, past the laundromat with its sleepy hum. The street has gone soft, the asphalt barely warm. A cycle drifts by without a sound. I'll nod to the man who sells the wrinkled fruit. He'll nod back like we practiced it for years. The world is small when you walk it slow enough, and every shop becomes a kind of home. If I forget to water, the plant forgives me. If I forget to call, the day forgives me. There's a mercy in a place that doesn't watch. There's a kindness in the dust upon the shelf. I will learn to leave the dishes for the dawn. I will learn to let the evening be enough. Borrowed room, hold my tiredness without speaking. Borrowed room, let me arrive inside myself. Borrowed room, you keep me steady. Borrowed room, you let me be. Borrowed room, my quiet type. Borrowed room, I am held. You don't ask for anything, you don't pretend. You don't try to be more than a wall and a bed. Borrowed room, my quiet type. Borrowed room, I am held. The light will fade, the street will take its breath. I'll thank the room, then close my eyes within her. Borrowed room, my quiet tide. Borrowed room, I am held. Borrowed room, the lamp stays on. Borrowed room, good night, my borrowed room. Morning finds the window frame again, a small white square of light upon the floor. The radiator ticks and starts to hum. A half-warm cup of yesterday sits by the door. I trace the rim and feel the day begin. Slow as a sentence, no one has to say. The steam has stopped, the kitchen clock is calm. Borrowed room, you fold the night away. A neighbor walks below with quiet keys. The street hums low beneath his coat of gray. I watch the curtains lean against the breeze and count the soft things I don't throw away. Your jacket still hangs loose upon the chair. His pocket holds a note I didn't send. The pen I left uncapped begins to dry, and time moves like a friend around the bend. I don't need the walls to be my own. I don't need a name above the door. Just this lamp, just this breath, just this low tone. Borrow light upon a borrowed floor. Borrowed room, hold me slow. Borrow room, let the quiet glow. Borrow every street I knew. Borrow room, I belong to you. Borrow for the day. Borrow room, keep the ache away. Borrow room, when the world world is new. Borrowed room, I belong to you. The afternoon arrives without a sound, a stripe of sun across the wooden bed. I read the same line twice and don't mind. The book falls gently open where I read. There's a postcard tucked beneath the paperweight. A city I remember but don't need. The kettle clicks, the water starts to move, and borrowed room supplies my smallest need. If I leave, the lamp will stay. If I stay, the lamp won't mind. Either way the dusk will fall, either way the door is kind. I am learning how to be something no one has to prove. Held by air, held by dust, held by you, my borrowed room. Borrowed room, hold me slow. Borrowed room, let the quiet glow. Borrowed room, every street I knew. Borrowed room, I belong to you. Borrowed room, for the day. Borrowed room, keep the ache away. Borrowed room, when the world is new. Borrowed room, I belong to you. Borrowed room, borrowed room, the lamp stays low. Borrowed room, the side streets go. Borrowed room, a steady hum. Borrowed room, I am held. Morning slips between the blinds, a thin gold line across the floor. Your jacket still hangs on the chair, buttons loose, collar soft and worn. I trace the rim of a cooling cup, steam gone hours ago. The radiator takes a patient code, and the city outside barely speaks. I count the things I did not say, fold them small and put them by. A neighbor's dog sighs in the hall, the elevator hums, then rests. Your handwriting on the notepad, a circle drawn around a name. I close my eyes, the darkest kind. The room remembers you the same. We were never in a rush, we were never gonna stay. Just a door left open wide, just a light we did not name. Borrowed room, the slow sun moves. Borrowed room, I'm letting go. Borrowed room, you sleep in mine. Borrowed room, the time goes low. Borrowed room, I am held. Borrowed room, I am whole. Borrowed room, the street is soft. Borrowed room, I'm coming home. Bridge clicks off the pipes room thin. A paper clip falls from the desk. I write a list of ordinary things. Milk, keys, the Sunday train. Your toothbrush in a metal cup, still wearing a faint blue stripe. I do not move it, I let it stay the way you taught me how to keep. Maybe rooms remember us, maybe walls keep what we lend. Maybe I am learning now how to hold without a hand. The window fogs, I draw a line, it fades before the minute ends. I breathe, and the room breathes back, quiet as an old friend. Borrowed room, the slow sun moves. Borrowed room, I'm letting go. Borrowed room, you sleep in mine. Borrowed room, the time goes low. Borrowed room, I am held. Borrowed room, I am whole. Borrowed room, the street is soft. Borrowed room, I'm coming home. Borrowed room, the light gets thin. Borrowed room, I'm right here. Borrowed room, the quiet hums. Borrowed room, I am held. The morning light comes soft through borrowed blinds. Dust just hanging slow like it has time. Steaming mug still warm against my palm. I count the small sounds inside the calm. phone face down, no need to check the hours. Outside the street has lost its older powers. A neighbor's dog adored, then nothing more, just me, my shoes unlaced beside the door. I read the same 5 pages twice a day. The words keep drifting in a gentle way. There's soup on lower kettle's tiny song, the kind of day when nothing feels too long. Your coaster rests on the chair you left behind. I don't move in much, I'm trying to be kind. Not to my heart, just to the shape of things, to all the quiet rooms your memory brings. So let me sit here, let me learn the weight of empty chairs of an unhurried state. I'm not in any rush to call it home, I only know I'm no longer alone. Borrow room, you keep me warm. Borrow room, safe from the storm. Borrow room, don't ask how long, just let me stay, just let me belong. Borrow room, I'll trace your walls. Borrow room, I'll hear your calls. Borrow room, I'm right here. Borrow room, the quiet's clear. Borrow room, hell. Borrow room, your story spelled. The afternoon slides gold across the floor. I watch the shadows stretching toward the door. A text comes in, I smile and let it wait. Some things arrive better when they're late. The fridge hums low, a steady minor chord. I add it to the playlist I afford. A neighbor laughs, a child a closing gate. The world still moves and I don't feel late. Maybe I'll water all the plants you bought. Maybe I'll learn the warmth that you were taught. Maybe I'll leave the porch light on for you. Maybe I'll fold the blanket into 2. Maybe I'll stay until the season turns. Maybe I'll just watch how the candle burns. For now the room is all I need to keep. For now your quiet holds me from the deep. Borrow room, you keep me warm. Borrow room, safe from the storm. Borrow room, don't ask how long, just let me stay, just let me belong. Borrow room, I'll trace your walls. Borrow room, I'll hear your calls. Borrow room, I'm right here. Borrow room, the air is clear. Borrow room, I'm held. Borrow room, your story's spelled. Borrow room, the light goes down slow. Borrow room, I don't need to know. Borrow room, just breathe, just stay. Borrow room fades, drifts away. The curtain moves a little slow against the wall. A patch of streetlight finds a shelf, the books, the hall. My jacket's on the chair the way I left it yesterday. The coffee's gone cold, but I don't pour it away. There's a hum beneath the radiator, low and thin. The city on the other side is quiet, wearing in. I trace a circle on the table with my thumb and watch the dust keep drifting where the daylights come. My phone face down beside the lamp, the screen goes black. The chair across from me is empty, no one lacks. I count the small sounds that keep ticking through the night. The clock, the fridge, my own slow breathing, pale and light. There's a postcard on the dresser with the lake, I can't recall. A pen beside it, ink half dry, no words at all. I read the handwriting, the loops, I don't quite know. A name, a year, a place where someone used to go. And I don't need a reason to remain, I don't need to memorize this place. Every shadow finds a quiet space to land. Every hour moves like sand, held in an open hand. So I stay, I let the silence say. Borrow room, I'm only passing through. Borrow room, you keep the light turned low. Borrow room, you let the evening slow. Borrow room, the walls don't ask my name. Borrow room, you take me just the same. Borrow room, the air is warm and gray. Borrow room, the city drifts away. Borrow room, I'm resting where I lay. Borrow room, another quiet day. There's a garden underneath the window I can see. Just the sound of water falling from a rusty spouting tree. A neighbor's dog is dreaming, sighing through the wall. A kettle clicks and cools itself, I didn't boil it all. I think about the morning and the morning after that. The way the tea will taste the same inside this little flat. I watch my shadow stretch across the floor and fade. The borrowed room is gentler than the plans I made. Maybe I could stay another week, another month. Let the address on my letters blur and come undone. Maybe I could learn the creak of every boarding door. Or maybe I should leave before I'm needing more. Either way, tonight is gentle, tonight is whole. Either way, the borrowed room is easy on my soul. I close my eyes and feel the ceiling overhead. A temporary kind of peace, a temporary bed. Borrowed room, you keep the light turned low. Borrowed room, you let the evening slow. Borrowed room, the walls don't ask my name. Borrowed room, you take me just the same. Borrowed room, the air is warm and gray. Borrowed room, the city drifts away. Borrowed room, I'm resting where I lay. Borrowed room, another quiet day. Borrowed room, I don't need to know. Borrowed room, just breathe, just stay. Borrowed room fades, drifts away. Borrowed. Morning slips between the blinds, a thin gold line. Floorboards cool beneath my feet, the air tastes fine. The kettle hums a low refrain, almost a song. Steam curls up and finds a place where it belongs. I trace a ring, the cup is left slow with my thumb. The city stirs below the window, traffic hums. No plans, no list, no one to call, no need to be. Just the hush between the hour and what follows me. There's a jacket draped across the back of the chair, a book that's open, bottom down, mid-sentence there. The radio is murmuring to no one at all, a voice that doesn't ask for much, just lets me fall. I fold a blanket, smooth it once and set it straight. The borrowed light is moving slow, it cannot wait. I stand and watch a shadow shift across the wall and feel the room remember me, I feel it call. So let the minutes pass like water in my hands. Let the dust keep dancing where the daylight lands. I don't need a reason, I don't need a name. I just need the quiet and a little space to stay. Borrow room, be gentle, be so still. Borrow room, the morning bends until all the little worries lose their way. Borrow room, it's not too late. Borrow room, I learned to move like you. Borrow room, let me be borrowed too. Borrow, let the hours fall like rain. Borrow room, I'm home again. A neighbor walks a dog along the leafy street. Their footsteps fade like laughter I can almost keep. The fridge decides to hum a note, a gentle low. The faucet drips a metronome, a patient flow. I sit and let my shoulders drop, my spine unwind. The kind of rest you cannot buy, the simple kind. Text arrives, I read it twice, then put it down. The screen goes black, the room returns without a sound. If I stayed another hour, would you mind? If I lingered past the daylight, left no sign. You're not mine and I am not your keeper either way. But the way you hold the silence makes me wanna stay. So I keep the coffee warm and the curtains drawn. Keep the chair turned just a little towards the dawn. And when the evening settles soft across the floor, I'll be here a little longer than before. Borrow room, be gentle, be so still. Borrow room, the morning bends until all the little worries lose their weight. Borrow room, it's not too late. Borrow room, I learned to move like you. Borrow room, let me be borrowed too. Borrow, let the hours fall like rain. Borrow room, I'm home again. Borrow room, the cup is cool and slow. Borrow room, there's nowhere I should go. Borrow room, the light begins to fade. Borrow room, in the quiet I have made. Borrow room. kettle clicks and settles, steam curls to the wall. Mug ring on the wood, a small brown circle I recall. Outside the bus is late, the street is turned to gray. I pull my cardigan close and let the moment stay. The neighbor's dog sighs once and turns to find his floor. My slippers sound like rain on tiles I don't own anymore. A magazine I've read, a headline I won't keep. The afternoon grows long, the night grows soft and deep. I count the shadows moving from the chair to the door. 6 hours since I said I'm fine, 6 hours more for. There's no one I am missing, no one I am needing. Just this room that holds my shape while I am slowly breathing. The fridge begins to hum a low familiar tune. A clock above the sink is keeping time for two. I trace a crack in plaster with the tip of my thumb and hum a melody that hasn't quite become. Nothing here is mine and nothing here is lost. I borrow all this quiet and I count the cost. A small price, a still voice, a window full of blue. If I could stay unnamed, I think I'd stay with you. Borrowed room, let me acquire tonight. Borrowed room, hold my edges soft and light. Borrowed room, I will give you back your key. Borrowed room, but keep the hour you gave to me. Borrowed room, the lamp beside the bed. Borrowed room, the sentence left unsaid. Borrowed room, the sound of my own breath. Borrowed room, a temporary home for what's left. The streetlight wakes below, a pale and amber glow. It paints a thin white line across the radiator slow. I write a list of nothing on the back of a receipt. Tomorrow, next week, never all the same and neat. My phone face down, the world politely out of reach. The radiator ticks a code in a forgotten speech. I close my eyes for just a moment, not for sleep, and let the borrowed dark a quiet promise keep. If I leave my fingerprints behind. On the glass, on the door, on the corner of my mind. I won't take the pillow, I won't take the chair. Just the way the light looked lying in your hair. If you find a strand of mine, just fold it in a drawer. Borrowed room, you held me, and I held you once more. Borrowed room, borrowed room, let me acquire tonight. Borrowed room, hold my edges soft and light. Borrowed room, I will give you back your key. Borrowed room, but keep the hour you gave to me. Borrowed room, the lamp beside the bed. Borrowed room, the sentence left unsaid. Borrowed room, the sound of my own breath. Borrowed room, a temporary home for what's left. Borrowed room, the street is finally still. Borrowed room, the window, the sill. Borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room. Borrow room, the blinds I have pulled down. Cup on the table, still holding the grounds. Streetlight leaking slow across the floor. I keep my shoes off by the door. Nothing to mind here, nothing in my name. Just a folded jacket, a coat I can claim. Rain taps soft against the window frame. Borrow room, I learned the shape. I'll move the chair an inch to the left, quietly asking which wall is best. The kettle whistles once and then lets go. Steam curls up like a question slow. Your books are stacked in a paper tower. Phone on the shelf, old charger, no power. I find a pen, I leave a note somehow. Borrow room, I'm figuring it out. Nothing Something here belongs to me and that feels light, like setting something heavy down in the middle of the night. I breathe and the air is warm and the room takes me in. A stranger's quiet kindness, soft against my skin. Borrowed room, borrowed light, borrowed hour, borrowed night, borrowed pillow, borrowed chair, borrowed air inside the air. Borrowed street that went soft and slow, borrowed calm we used to know. Borrowed room, I'm resting here. Borrowed room, but the rest is real, I swear. I swear. The neighbor's dog sighs once in his sleep. Muffled city hush, a half-rendered beep. I count the ceiling tiles, then I stop, learning how to be where I am not. Your sweater's draped across the wooden back, cardamom and paper, a familiar stack. I read one paragraph, then closed my eyes. Borrow room, gentle and wise. It's strange how a place can hold you without your name, like a coat left out for someone who came. The radiator ticks a small leaving song, and I think I could stay here, not for long, just long enough to forget what I carry around, just long enough to feel borrowed and unbound, just long enough to remember the ground. Borrow room, borrow light, borrowed hour, borrowed night, borrowed pillow, borrowed chair, borrowed air inside the air, borrowed street that went soft and slow, borrowed calm we used to know. Borrow room, I'm resting here. Borrow room, somehow I got clear. Borrow room, morning finds the room. Borrow room, quiet as a plume. Borrow room, borrow room, borrow room, borrow room, borrow room, borrow room. The curtain pulls a softer shade of gray. Dust is moving where the daylight hides. I hear the neighbor lock the door and go. My mug is cooling on the windowsill. A book is open where I left the line. Nothing rushes, nothing needs to start. The radio is humming low and slow. Borrowed room, you hold me while I stay. Outside the street is folded into dust. The street lamps flicker on without a sound. I trace the handle of a wooden chair. Your jacket still is hanging by the door. I fold the blanket where the crease has been. The pillow keeps the shape where I once leaned. I breathe in, let the quiet keep the room. Borrowed room, I don't need to call it home. I am lighter when I do not own the space. I am softer when the walls don't know my name. If I leave, the light will simply find a chair. If I stay, the hours will not ask for proof. Borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room. Let the evening keep its quiet tune. Borrowed room, borrowed room. Hold the window, hold the afternoon. Borrowed room, borrowed. I am passing through. Borrowed room, borrowed room. And that is all I have to do. Borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room. Ooh, the kettle clicks and settles on the stove. Ooh, the fridge hums softly like it's half asleep. Ooh, I set a plate for no one else but me. I drink the water from a glass I found. My shoes are angled loosely by the wall. The clock keeps moving but it does not press. I let my shoulders drop, I let them fall. Borrowed room, you teach me how to rest. I don't need to paint the walls to feel the warmth. I don't need to sign the lease to feel the calm. I only need this chair, this lamp, this slowly glow. I only need the air to move the curtain slow. Borrowed room, hold me light. 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 Borrowed room, let the evening keep its quiet tune. Borrowed room, hold room, hold the window, hold the afternoon. Borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room. I am passing through. Borrowed room, borrowed room. I am passing through. Borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room. Borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room. carpet bends. My mug is empty, still I do not move. I close my eyes inside this gentle room. Borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room. Morning arrives without a sound. The street is still and the coffee's gone cold. I trace the edge of a window frame, counting the dust on a borrowed floor. A book lies open, face down on the bed. A second cup rests where I never sleep. Light slips slow across the empty chair, marking the hours I don't keep. I learned the rhythm of pipes and trains, the hum of a fan and a closing door. Your jacket still hangs by the kitchen door, the keys you forgot on a ceramic plate. I water the plant by the eastern wall, just something to do with a quiet hand. The cat on the sill keeps a steady eye, returning each night to a borrowed land. Nothing here is really mine to hold, nothing here asks me to explain. I drift through the rooms like a passing cloud, letting the silence ease the strain. In a borrowed room, in a borrowed room, I am lighter than I've been. In a borrowed room, in a borrowed room, I don't have to be anything. The walls don't know my history, the mirror doesn't check my name. In a borrowed room, in a borrowed room, I can set my Shinley down and stay. A neighbor waves from across the hall, her radio plays through the thin drywall. I write a few lines on a yellow pad, then close the cover and let it rest. The mailman leaves what isn't addressed to me, a flyer for someone who moved away. I fold it into a paper bird just to have something to give the day. Maybe that's all that we're meant to find, a temporary peace, a temporary light. Maybe the soul just needs a pause, a corner, a cushion, a borrowed night. No chains on the door, no pictures on wall, just the sound of breathing, both yours and mine. If this isn't home, it's a gentle place, a pause between the harder climb. In a borrowed room, in a borrowed room, I am lighter than I've been. In a borrowed room, in a borrowed room, I don't have to be explained. The walls don't keep my history, the clock doesn't track my name. In a borrowed room, in a borrowed room, I can set my burden down and stay. Borrowed room, borrowed room. The light is fading slow. Borrowed room, borrowed room. There's nowhere else to go. And if you ever wonder where I've been right here in a borrowed room. The morning slides across the floor, a thin white line beneath the door. The radiator hums a tune, I'm wearing yesterday's perfume. My phone is face down on the desk, the coffee's cold, I didn't check. The window holds a quiet sky and time just learns to walk on by. There's a notebook open to a page, half-written thoughts I couldn't gauge. A jacket hangs on the back chair, the one you left I still keep there. The street below is moving slow, a taxi's break a soft hello. I trace the rim of this old cup and wonder if you've given up. I don't need the words arranged, I don't need the world to change. Just a lock, a key, a door that's closed, a floor that knows the weight of clothes. If love is just a place to stay, then I am learning day by day. I'm living in a borrowed room where shadows find the shape of you. The walls don't ask me where I've been, the light comes in and leaves again. I'm living in a borrowed room. The curtains breathe, the radiator hums, it's not mine but it's enough. A quiet bed, a door, a touch, I'm living in a borrowed room. The landlord's cat comes through the hall, she never knocks, she knows the wall. I left the window cracked last night to let the city hold my sight. A siren drifted past the 3, it sounded almost like a sea. I folded all the sheets I'm in and let the dust begin again. Maybe home is just a sound, a door that doesn't make you frown. Maybe it's the way the light falls gently on the floor at night. I don't need a perfect view, I just need a wall or two. And if you're listening from far, this borrowed room still holds your star. I'm living in a borrowed room, where shadows find the shape of you. The walls don't ask me where I've been, the light comes in, it leaves again. I'm living in a borrowed room. The curtains breathe, the radiator hums, it's not mine, but it's enough. A quiet bed, a door, a touch, I'm living in a borrowed room. So let the evening close its eyes, let the traffic fade to sighs. I'll be here behind the door, in a borrowed room and nothing more. The light goes soft, the day is through. I'm living in a borrowed room with you. The light goes soft, the day is through. I'm living in a borrowed room with you. The light goes soft, the day is through. I'm living in a borrowed room with you.
The morning comes in pieces through the curtain edge. A cup of cooling coffee sitting close beside the bed. Your shoes are by the door, not neatly paired, just resting where you left them like you barely cared. The street outside is waking, tires on the floor. A car door closing somewhere down the corridor. I'm tracing idle patterns on the wooden chair and breathing in the stillness of the borrowed air. The radio is humming something low and blue, a voice I almost recognize is singing this back too. We didn't sign a lease, we didn't hang a frame. We just arrived one evening and we never changed our name. The neighbors never knock, the hallway stays asleep. The kind of quiet company that we could keep. I fold the blanket slowly, watch the crease appear. A small and gentle habit that I hold you near. Your keys are on the counter next to what I wrote, a list of things to remember crossed out like a note. And every little object in this place feels true, a piece of us reflected in this borrowed room with you. So let the morning linger, let the traffic fade to dust. We don't need forever, we don't need to rush. The sun is on the carpet, the day is in between. The softest kind of living that we've ever seen. I'm living in a borrowed room with you. The light goes soft, the day is through. I'm living in a borrowed room with you. And every quiet corner feels like something new. The chair, the curtain turning slow, the radio beside us saying words we already know. I'm living in a borrowed room. I'm living in a borrowed room. I'm living in a borrowed room. I'm living in a borrowed room with you. There's a jacket on the hook you keep forgetting. There's a book I started reading and I haven't finished yet. The fridge hums out a rhythm like it's part of us, a patient little engine breathing through the dust. I sweep the floor at midnight, you don't ask me why. You let me have my quiet and you let the hours slide. Outside the city scatters, neon turning blue, but here the only color is the shadow next to you. And if the world is listening, I think it knows the tune of living in a borrowed room. Just living in a borrowed room. And maybe we will stay here longer than we planned. Maybe we'll unpack the suitcase, maybe leave it where it stands. Maybe this will fade like writing on a wall. Maybe we won't notice that it's gone at all. But right now the light is honey warm and low. Right now I don't need a place I'd call my home. Right now the street is quiet, right now the door is closed. Right now the only address that I need is the one I chose. With you. Goes off, the day is through. I'm living in a borrowed room with you. And every quiet corner feels like something new. The chair, the curtain turning slow, the radio beside us saying words we is through, I'm living in a borrowed room with you in every quiet corner. The morning comes in slow through the curtain. Dust is turning in the light. I set my coffee on the table, watch the steam rise up out of sight. You are sleeping with your face to the wall, the blanket rising, the blanket fall. Nothing here is really ours to keep, just the shadows on the wall. I walk the floor in borrowed socks, the wood is cool against my feet. A neighbor's radio is playing something tight, something sweet. I count the cracks along the ceiling, make a quiet wish or two. Outside the window, the street has gone soft the way it does when the day is new. I don't need forever, I don't need a name, just the sound you're breathing, just the quiet we became. Let the morning keep us, let the light stay through. I am not in any hurry, and neither love are you. Living in a borrowed room, living in a borrowed room. Sun on the floor, you on my mind. Living in a borrowed room, nothing that we own, nothing we prove, just the shape of you in the afternoon. Living in a borrowed room with you. Living in a borrowed room, living in a borrowed room with you. I write a note and leave it folded by the kettle, by the keys. You will find it when you're ready, something small, something easy. The fridge hums a minor tune, the tap drips once then stops. We built a little house of habit, out of whispers, out of draws. Some nights I listen to the city, hear it breathe against the wall. The trains are far, the buses distant, cars like rain that barely fall. If this is all we ever have, if this is all we do, then let me be the quiet beside you, the calm that carries through. Borrow room, borrow light, borrow morning, borrow night. Even borrow feels like home when you're the one inside. Room, living in a borrowed room. Sun on the floor, you on my mind. Living in a borrowed room, nothing that we own, nothing we prove, just the shape of you in the afternoon. Living in a borrowed room with you. Living in a borrowed room, living in a borrowed room with you. Just living in a borrowed room, just living in a borrowed room. The light is warm, the cup is cool. Just living in a borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room. Slowly fades into the blue. Yeah. The curtain moves against the wall, a shadow that I used to know. Steam is curling from the cup, the day is moving oh so slow. Keys are resting by the door, I haven't touched them since I came. Everything I left outside is just a name, a name, a name. There's a notebook on the chair, half a sentence then a pause. I could finish what I started, but I keep on feeling drawn to the small and steady hum of the radiator calling. Borrow warmth against my hands, there's no rush, there's no demands. If you ask me how I'm doing, I will simply tell you fine. I will say the light is easy, that the hours pass in line. All the furniture is patient, every surface, every wall holds the quiet for me. Gently ask for nothing back at all. I'm just living in a borrowed room, borrowed bed, borrowed view, borrowed quiet in the afternoon. Nothing here is mine or due, just a body in a borrowed space. Borrowed breath, borrowed air, let the day go on without a name. I am landing, I am there, just living in a borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room. Slowly fading into blue. The
neighbor's footsteps cross the floor, a rhythm that I understand. No one needs to knock tonight, no one needs to take my hand. There's a postcard on the sill, the ink is faded into gray. I keep meaning to write someone, but I throw the pen away. Maybe everyone is renting, maybe no one truly owns. Maybe home is just a feeling, not a door, not even walls. I could pack my things tomorrow, I could stay another year. Neither choice feels like a question when the stillness draws me near. Just a simple borrowed room holds the hum, the hush, the tune. I'm just living in a borrowed room, borrowed bed, borrowed light, borrowed stillness wrapped around me. Borrowed hour, borrowed night, just a body in a borrowed space. Borrowed breath, borrowed prayer, let the world keep turning gently. I am resting, I am there, living in a borrowed room, borrowed room, borrowed room. Slow and steady, calm and true. The cup is empty by the morning, the light is soft against the pane. Nothing here belongs to me now, and that's a peaceful kind of sane. Borrowed room, just a borrowed room.